Hi there and welcome back. This is part 4 of my in-depth Canon C300 Mark II review, and what I want to talk about on this is something I did as a little bit of an experiment. We all hear about shooting day for night, and I thought, well, why not try shooting night for day? And we were doing a short film as part of the little agreement we had with Canon in terms of them letting us use the C300 Mark II and showing what could be done with it. So we went to our location, and when we arrived there, it was obvious with what was happening in the sky with clouds and where the sun was moving behind hills that I wasn't going to have the warm sun that I had kind of originally set my mind to for the shoot. And I thought, this could be an interesting opportunity to see what we can do with this camera, because we know it's very sensitive to light. But the question is, how sensitive to light is it? So I went about going ahead and setting up a short film to basically shoot it after the sun fell from the sky and the city street lights had come up. This is often called the blue hour, and as we were shooting, it actually just went completely dark to the point where we were only lit by moonlight and whatever the street lights were that were nearby, and a small handheld LED light that we were using for eye lights. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up some of the footage in Premiere to talk about this with you, but it's really impressive, the image that you can get on this camera. And essentially what we ended up doing is using the sky as a giant softbox with, the twilight sun or the dusk or whatever you want to call it, the blue hour sun far below the sky, but still being a little bit of ambient light, which just made like a nice, beautiful sort of look on the actors' faces, which we positioned towards where the sun was falling from the sky. So let me show you some of this footage and you can see for yourself.
All right, so I've gone ahead and opened up some of the footage that we shot for the short. And as you can see here, this has a nice golden hour sort of warmth to it, which is by the time we sort of had everybody there, we were set up and ready to go. This is what it was looking like. The problem is that by the time I finished shooting the short, it was going to be dark out, meaning that I was going to have a very, very different look from the start of the shoot to the end of it. And it's a nice, pleasing look. I mean, obviously what we have here is we have harsh shadows from the sunlight being right at the horizon line and there being no clouds, etc. Now watch what happens as the sun drops below the horizon, and you can kind of see what's happening to the shadows on our face as they start softening overall, and it actually it gives the sky becomes basically a giant softbox with the sun gone from the sky and now just whatever ambient light you have reflected up and coming up over the horizon. And photographers and cinematographers often refer to this time of day as the blue hour because of the bluish quality of light that you will get. Now, you can kind of see it a little bit more here with Surge, where we're shooting him, and you can see the park lights have already turned on. And I believe I'm at f2.8 and I think ISO 1600 or thereabouts, I want to say. And this is looking brighter in camera than what I'm seeing by eye, or approximately in that zone. So by the time we finish shooting with him and we're back on her, I have had to jump over to the 85mm 1.3 just because there really was so little light available. But you wouldn't know that from seeing this image. You can kind of tell that there's something a little bit off with the color. There's a little bit of green that we're getting there, which is from I think there's sodium vapor, I want to say, the street lamps that are nearby. And by the end of the shoot, there really is nothing. There's no light left. It's just, what we're getting from the street lamps that you can see over here, as well as the moon that has now risen in the sky. But still with the ISO, I believe we're at 1600 still, because I don't think I changed the ISO, trying to maintain an even exposure, but I have opened up to 1.3. Now, this just kind of looks slightly dark, but if you were just to do some basic heavy-handed color correction, you could really warm it up and kind of make it look like a late afternoon thing. Or if you do a little bit of finer color work on it, I went ahead with my colorist and created a LUT for this. And as you can see, it looks like late afternoon, but it has this interesting thing where you have the lights in the park that are lit up as well. And let me go ahead and just turn on the LUTs for all of these, so you can kind of see that footage with a grade applied to it. And this is her. And as you can see, it looks pretty spectacular considering that we're shooting at night. You can see sort of between here and here how just a little bit of that fill is gone from her face because just any light in the night sky was just gone at that point. And you can kind of see that it's a bit more flat lit in because of that. There's nicer modeling over here. But I think we're almost at 9 o'clock at night here in downtown LA, so it's really impressive. There's another clip that I have over here, and this was really truly at the end and over in a darker part of the park, which is right off the lake. And this is just proxy footage here. This is not the 4K footage. You can see as we rack focus off of her into downtown LA in the background, the whole city's lit up, and it's really actually quite an interesting look. And if you want, I've noticed that the Alexa LUTs actually kind of get you sort of in the ballpark, color-wise, of what you can kind of do with this. And pretty cool if you ask me. I'm just breezing through these real quick. Anyhow. So there you go. That is just something I wanted to share because I thought it was fascinating, just having the ability to shoot at night and still make it look like a daytime shoot and have great looking footage while you're at it. And this is just all, once again, this is just all ambient light with one small handheld LED fixture, and that's it. That's what we got. So again, if you're interested in getting some of this footage, just go ahead and email me and I will retransfer that to you, or hopefully I will figure out how to put that up on my site for download. But yeah, I have to say I am impressed with this camera.
So that kind of gives you an idea of the sensitivity of this camera, and I must say that not only is the image fabulous, but it grades amazingly well. The colorist and I were both really impressed at how well the image held up, even though I was underexposing it to sort of be able to see what I could see by eye and then see how far I could push it in post. So thank you again for watching. I hope that this series of interviews and reviews on the C300 Mark II has been helpful. If you want to ask me any specific questions about it, feel free to go ahead and email me at dare@darecinema.com. And if you want some sample footage clips, I will send them to you. Just send me an email address that I can WeTransfer them to you. And as soon as I can, I'll figure out how to put it up on my site for download. But in the meantime, just an individual email. Thanks again for watching. Catch you next time.